Do you wanna build a bookcase? Hi! Timeline. Thursday evening. I had gotten home from my 2-week holiday in Spain, which was lovely by the way, and I was just sitting in my couch, hanging out, reading, chilling, watching TikTok, when I started to look at this area of my room. And I had this idea that, I could fit another bookshelf there. But I don't want a tall one. That would feel like a bit too much. I want half a bookcase. So I drew this beautiful photo and sent it to some friends and family and was like, I'll think about this. I will let this idea marinate. I'm not certain if I want it. I know I can fit one there because I took the measurements, but like, will it be too much? Then, Tuesday evening, I go to IKEA with my mom and pick up the bookcase. So, really didn't take that many days to think about it. I started to look at like Marketplace and such if they were selling it, because basically these bookcases that I have are Billy bookcases. And I know they make the Billy bookcase in like the half height thing. And I wanted it in black, obviously, so it matches. And I couldn't really find any black ones in that size on Marketplace or any other secondhand shops or whatever. And I was like, it's not that big of an expense when it's like the shorter one. I'll pay for it, I'll get it. Worst case, I'm just gonna put it away in storage or something. It will be useful for something, probably. So now I have a bookcase to build. Yay, how exciting! So now I have a bookcase to build, which I'm gonna do, and I'm so excited about it. The reason why I wanted to get the bookshelves to start with is because, sure, I got these ones, I love them, there are still some space, but it is starting to overflow a bit, okay? I have books, especially now, because I've been doing book videos and all of that, but I will film a quick clip. I have books just laying around, and like these awkward piles on my case. And I just want it to look cuter and nicer. I want a bit more air on my shelves, just so I can organize it in a way I prefer to, because it's getting to the point where I can't really organize my shelves the way I want to anymore, because if I were to do that I wouldn't fit all of my books. So that's why I thought that, hey, if I have 3 extra shelves, I could work with that, I could do something with that. And especially because I'm finally back into reading, like properly, like I'm reading so many great books currently, and many of them are fantasies, which are thick ones, and I want to collect them, and I want them nicely presented on my shelf, and all of that. So in today's video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a bookcase together, and then I'm gonna organize it. I will talk you through the organization bit later. I don't know how long this is gonna take me actually, because I wasn't the one to build these ones. I bought all my bookcases secondhand, so they were already built. We just needed to move them from one home to another. So I don't know how long this is gonna take me on my own. But I feel like I'm handy, I like puzzles. I have a good feeling about this, honestly. I also have a live show in like half an hour. So I'm gonna need to take a break from the building. The aim is for this case to be done tonight. Or by tonight, today, whatever. And then the organization will happen like this weekend or something. We're gonna see. But let's just get started. I forgot to mention, I got pizza on the way. Gonna be awesome. Ooh, I should grab something to drink. Now I can build a bookcase.
Some may never come, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibe in the air.
3 hours later.
Sup? I've had my live show, the kickoff for the Olympics-a-thon. It went awesome, so now I'm finally continuing with this bookshelf. I did not get far at all, but we'll manage, okay? Awesome. It's done. Are we ready for the reveal? I'm about to lift it up. I had to change to shorts, by the way, because I was getting too warm. So if you see my legs, it's not scandalous. Oh! Oh my god! Hold up. Do you see this? Oh my god! Hi! Oh my god, oh my god. I'm gonna move things around over there now. And then I'm gonna put on the actual shelves. Okay. This poor flower. Look at it! I honestly don't know what I think. There we have it. I built it all by myself. I'm gonna tidy up. I'm gonna dim the lights and see what I think of this. I'm conflicted now. I might move it around. I'm gonna have a think about this. But hey, thanks for joining me on this construction day. I will get back to you when I start organizing it and decorating it and all of that. Thank you. Let's get back into it. Last time I reorganized my bookshelves, I sort of had a system. I took photos of my bookshelves and I basically analyzed them and drew up a template of what I wanted my bookshelves to look like post organization. And I really like that process. So I am now sat in front of my computer, I have opened up Canva, and yesterday I took 2 photos of my bookcases where you can see the new bookcase as well. And I'm just gonna make some drawings on it and talk about what needs to be updated, how I'm feeling, all of that. It's looking a bit messy, it's just the reality of it. I'm gonna use the same image and we have like a before and after. So basically if I were to draw it up for you now, I'm doing this messily, I know. So I have 2 of the same images here just to describe how things are looking. So basically the way it currently is that all of these shelves, like so, are basically TBR shelves. What I want it to be is make it more cohesive and give myself some more TBR shelves. So the aim is for it to be more like this, I think. That way I would basically be adding 2 more TBR shelves, which I feel like I need. Because that's where the books are overflowing, and since I do like to categorize my books by genre, I think by adding more shelves to my TBR shelves I can keep that system. Another thing that I thought of is that this red shelf that I love, I adore my red shelf, I want to keep it forever, but I'm thinking that I will move it down 1 step. So the red shelf, the one marked in yellow, will actually be down here instead. And that is mainly because as I sit down in front of the bookcases, that's sort of the part that is right behind my head, or what you can see. It's next to the Fredrik Backman shelf. It will also help with just keeping all of the TBR shelves together more if I move the red shelf down. So I think I'm gonna do that. There are some shelves that I will keep the way they are. I will mark those in green, and those are these 4 shelves basically. These are shelves I love. The one that you can't even see is my Twilight shelf. So I keep all my Twilight books there. Then we have some YA fantasy. We have your typical Leigh Bardugo and also Holly Black. I do think that I might need to move things around here because I'm adding the Stolen Air duology to my Holly Black collection, and because of that it's not gonna fit there anymore. So I might need to make some adjustments on that. But still, as long as I have Stolen Air on my TBR, it's not really an issue, but it's gonna be. We have my V. Schwab shelf, which I also would love to expand someday. I would love to get the deluxe editions or something, the special editions of the This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet duologies. I haven't read the series, but I would still love to get them in hardbacks. I also want to get the rest of her middle grade books because I actually did quite like that first one. And if I were to add more V. Schwab books, this shelf would soon get quite overstuffed as well. But that's once again a future issue. Backman shelf is gonna stay the way it is. I might move some books around because I realize it doesn't really make sense the way I have grouped them together. But yeah, it's gonna stay there at its spot, but I might just move the books of it. I would say that the problem are these shelves basically, and this is where I can make the most magic. I still wish to sort it by genre, so I sort it by fantasy, by romance reads, non-fix and lit-fix, and also some more fantasy. I feel like a shelf that is super neglected especially is this one. I have so many of my favorites on here. I have the Poppy War, I have Assassin's Curse, but it's just not, it's not giving the same vibes as the 4 shelves above it. So that needs to be a focus. That basically means that all of my red shelves will become these ones. Shelves that are simply red and not special in the way that I have like my red shelf or my favorites shelves. So that gives me still 9 TBR shelves. And oh, I forgot, this one up here is also a red shelf, and that just doesn't make sense, right? So I need to move that down and sort that with those other books. I want to make this shelf a white shelf. This is gonna be Brandon Sanderson. This is where I will collect all of those books, and I think it's gonna look great actually. I feel like the new bookcase will basically be just fantasy mecca. These 3 cases that I'm showing you right now is basically what I see when I'm lying down in my sofa and reading. So I want it to be inspiring and cute and look nice. I'm just gonna scratch out, like all of these are fairly set. I still need at least 1 romance shelf. I feel like I need 2 lit-fic shelves, 1 non-fic shelf, and then plenty of fantasy shelves. So it's gonna be like, if you just write that out, I'm gonna need 2 lit-fic shelves. I'm gonna need at least 1 romance, I think maybe 2 honestly. I forgot to mention, on the bottom shelves, I have YA currently, but I've decided I'm just gonna mix that in. So if we go up again, this one here is another issue, this one. It has random things in it that does not need to be there, and it's also got YA books in there that I can just mix with the rest of my TBR. So this won't be an exclusive YA shelf anymore. Sorry if I'm not making any sense, but I'm having fun with this actually. I really am. TBR wise, I'm gonna keep it fantasy. Gonna keep it fantasy. I feel like I need like 5 fantasy shelves honestly. And I might, should I just mix in, because this one is like mystery horror. That's romance. This is lit-fic. And this is non-fic. And then that one is YA. But I will have the freedom to mix that up a bit. So I think YA will be no more. I feel like I need to add both lit-fic and romance. So I am getting 1 more fantasy shelf, I think. If we compare it 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm adding fantasy. Mystery horror is sort of the same actually. I can keep that. No, I have lit-fic. Non-fic is just 1. I put it down there, although I like having non-fic and making smart. And then I guess it will be something like this, maybe. Something like that, TBR wise. You can barely see the text, but that is fine. That one's gonna be fantasy, or that is currently fantasy, yeah, these are the current ones. So let's move them aside, just so we see the way it is and the way we want it to be. Like so, this is like mixed, and that one is like YA. The box set will probably stick there because you can never see it, so that is great. YA will disappear, so the way it's gonna be now is we're gonna keep, I think it's gonna be like fantasy, and Like, I want this to look clean. And I don't feel like it's looking clean. Maybe non-fic could go here. That could be nice. And I think we would need to have some lit-fic above that. Perhaps romance can still stay there. And then this would be lit-fic as well. And this one would just stay as is. Not necessarily YA, but just random books maybe. And then I think this would be another fantasy. Could that work? Maybe. Because I could, as of now, fit all of my romances there. Lit-fic, I need to expand, so that's good that I'm getting 2 shelves. Non-fic would work. Fantasy. So basically, like, this could be another series shelf. So like First Law, Green Bone, all of those that I got. Maybe somewhere. Maybe I should have Poppy War there. Because we have like Poppy War also. And Assassin's Curse. I could move as a... Okay, if we do Poppy War, Green Bone, and maybe... what's it called now? I don't remember, but the She Who Became the Sun series. Those could go there. And this would mean that here we would have First Law, Assassin's Curse, and also... What's that one called? The Monk and Robot, right? But I don't know if I want First Law there. That's the issue. I haven't finished First Law yet, but it's gonna look cool. This could potentially work. Okay, so once again, right hand side are what we're aiming for. So I will be getting basically 2 more TBR shelves, and also I will be cleaning up whatever is happening in the bottom left corner, which is awesome. Red shelf is staying but moving. We're keeping the 4 favorite shelves, although it might get reorganized a bit, just moving around the books that are already on the shelf. And instead of having, what is it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Instead of having 8 red shelves, I will now have 9 of those, mixing in my YA. And for the red shelves, we are upping with 1 more lit-fic shelf and 1 more fantasy shelf. I think that's what's going on. Awesome! I hope this made some type of sense. Next up is to actually do this, which I will probably get to this weekend. What's up? It's finally time for me to start reorganizing this bookcase. So we have the new one right over here. You've seen me do the planning part, so I have an idea of where I want to put everything, but now I just need to get to it. So I have a bunch of random stacks all over the place. I have some new books here, I have some books over here, I have a stack of books here that are on my current TBR, and I think first thing I'm gonna do, just to set myself up for the reorganization bit, is I'm gonna sort all of the stacks onto like the respective shelves, because I will be sorting it by genre and read and unread. So I will sort them into like a fantasy stack, a romance stack, just to get those into place. And then I'm gonna be moving some books around. So as I mentioned, I want this first shelf to be a white shelf, so it's gonna be my Brandon Sanderson shelf. So I'm gonna take the books that are behind here, that are my Sanderson books. I'm gonna move those, and I will basically empty this entire shelf, which are like some of my ongoing fantasy series, and move some of them there and someplace else. I also mentioned that I have a bookcase up here, you can't even see it. So I also have a shelf up here, which are, as I mentioned, books I've already read. So I'm gonna take down these books and move them, sort them onto the other shelves with my read books.
Nothing like your smile in the morning, following the linings on your cheeks.
It's a good start, I don't think if... I need to have a look at my plan actually, because I'm not certain if these are gonna be there. So another issue that I'm fixing is this over here. We have some old like sheet music and stuff to my keyboard over here. But like, I'm not looking at these, I'm not using them. I should put them somewhere else because they're just taking space. And then, as I mentioned, all of my YA, I'm gonna just sort them into their real genres. I don't have enough YA to just store YA on a single shelf, so I'll be moving those. Why is the autofocus doing this? I think I might have had the wrong setting, so sorry about that, in case I did. I'm gonna move these into the respective genres, which is fantasy, because that's all I have apparently. Down here as well, if you can see, these one I will also be sorting differently, I feel like.
Cause baby, in your absence, life is boring, so I'll never leave. It's easier to love when it's you by my side, shining through the cracks like the first morning light, feeling like a child through the days and the nights, living in your arms as years go by. It's easier to love, oh, oh, easier to love, oh, oh.
Okay, very random but quite fun. I get 3 fantasy books that are all called The City of Something. So we have The City of Brass, The City of Dusk, and The City of Last Chances. Why is this a thing?
Like the way that you adore me, I can feel love from miles away. And the light in your eyes tells me stories of life in a more perfect place where I want.
Random question. Is Assassin to the Villain considered a fantasy or a romance? I think I'm gonna put this in romance, I might be wrong, but I'm gonna put this in romance. For now.
It's easier to love when it's you by my side, shining through the cracks like the first morning light, feeling like a child through the days and the nights, living in your arms as years go by. It's easier to love, oh, oh, easier to love, oh, oh. If the sky is falling down on me, you'll be the one that's by my side to lift away from me. And if I find myself in reckless seas, you'll be.
I'm not filling up all of my fantasy shelves. I expected to have one more on actually. I have 2 few books. But I'm gonna leave that be for now and continue with the other genres and we'll see what's gonna happen. What the fuck?
You want to pull me back into reality. Nothing like your smile in the morning, following the linings on.
Okay, time to sort that upper shelf that I moved down. So I have books here and here that used to be up there and they are mixed in like mystery, thriller, standalone fantasies, that type of thing. So I'm just gonna sort that into their respective genres.
Your cheeks, cause baby, in your absence, life is boring, so I'll never leave. It's easier to love, oh, oh. It's easier to love, oh, oh. Easier to love, oh, oh. Easier to love.
I'm losing it officially. It's happening now. It's happening now. Okay. I'm gonna try and salvage these ones now. Get to the fun new shelves, and I don't know. Let's attempt to focus on the new case and figure things out, because I don't know what to do.
The winner takes it all. You're like a game that I play just to bet all my cash and then fall. Attracted like magnets, our bodies reactive, but you just won't call. Baby, won't you please stop keeping me on? Oh yeah. I'm drunk on all your games, riding in the fast lane. He's driving me insane. The winner takes it all. Eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind, and we can't see at all. I drink you like poison.
Let's go up again. This shelf is gonna be like a fantasy I finished, almost standalone-ish sort of shelf, or just I don't have the other books in that series yet sort of shelf. Okay, I think I made most of the books fit, at least with some space, which is awesome, but I want to have some books facing out. So now I'm gonna like just move things around a bit, also have an extra look on these shelves, and then decorate it and just see if I can have some face outs, because I would really love to have some face outs.
Down on my chin, but you just won't call. Baby, won't you please stop keeping me on? Oh yeah. Lost in a hurricane, got caught up in the rain.
I made all the books fit. I'm not yet certain how I feel about it, but I'm so warm right now. So I feel like I'm gonna have a sit down, I'm gonna have a break, have a drink, watch some Olympics, think about it, and I might switch some things up, and then I will be back with you once it's done, I think. I think that will be the easiest.
Several days later.
Okay, so I think I'm ready to show you the results of the new bookcase and also the reorganization of the shelves. Things might still move around, and they will definitely move around as I read books, since I sort them by read and unread. So this is not the final thing. It might change, but I feel like I'm quite pleased with it now. I've lived with it for like a week or so, and I like it. Let me attempt to show you my bookshelf organization. Let's start with my TBR shelves. So here we have the first one. This is TBR for thriller and horror, and I got some more space there, which is nice. Next we have the first fantasy TBR shelf, followed by the second one, third one, and a fourth one. All of these are unread books, and they are sorted alphabetically. Next to it we have my first red shelf. So all of these are more like miscellaneous fantasies, I would say. Incomplete series I only have the first book in, and similar. Down here we've got our first litfic shelf or contemporary shelf, and there's also space for at least one more book there. This shelf actually goes down and continues on to here, where I got one book facing out, because why not? All the way here we've got the litfic and contemporaries, and then starting from here we have romance that also goes down to here. Then down here we've got the unread non-fiction, so various self-help, memoirs, fact books. And then in this little basket there are books I'm looking to unhaul. Remember that first red fantasy shelf? Right below it we've got my red shelf. Yay! I managed to keep it. I moved it one step down, and all of the books on this shelf are unread. Below that one we've got my romance shelf, my red shelf. So all of these romances I have read. It is crammed, so I definitely need a plan for where to put my upcoming read romances. Below that one we have got my mysteries and horrors, not that many, but I do have a feeling that once I continue to collect some of these series, it's gonna look really, really nice. And plenty of space as well, which is great. Although some of these romance books might move down with time. And then on this lowest shelf we got some miscellaneous books and series again. The Hunger Games books I'm currently borrowing from a friend, that's why they are not on display. Moving up again, we have my Twilight shelf, and I'm quite pleased with how I managed to do it actually. So I have all of the movie tie-ins here, and then behind Midnight Sun I've got all of the Swedish editions of the books, and also the graphic novel, part 1, and the book in Czech. And then I got Midnight Sun on display right here, because I'm one of the few that actually love the cover. Moving down, we have my Folk of the Air and Grishaverse shelf. I managed to squeeze in Stolen Air, and I also removed the dust jackets from King of Scar and Rule of Wolves. Next, we've got my V.E. Schwab shelf. I just moved around the books a bit to make it make more sense. This one is also getting more crammed, so we'll see what I'll do once I've collected this series and this series. Fredrik Backman shelf, once again, just moved some things around, but it's looking quite the same actually. And below that one, we have my red Litfix and contemporaries, and that one starts here and goes down to here. And I do have space for 1 or 2 more books. The lowest shelf here is my non-fic shelf. Sorry if it's a bit dark. I have tried to split it in like fact and information and self-help books, then memoirs, and then poetry. And then we can look at the new shelf. So this is what we got going on top of it. We have a plant, we have some candles, and right down here we've got Brandy Sandy and Poppy War, and I love how it looks with the all white. Yes, I know, I need to get this one in this height. I will do that someday. But yeah, it's looking awesome. Down here we've got some favorite series. We got the Greenbone Saga and also Magic of Blood and Sea with the Assassin's Curse facing out as it should. It's beautiful. Unfortunately these covers are discontinued, so it's now sold in this like rebinded edition. And then final shelf we've got is this one with some miscellaneous series that I have read or am currently reading. And that's it for this video and this bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got a good idea of what's going on behind me right now. If you have any questions at all regarding my bookcases, bookshelves, how I organize them, the decorations, feel free to ask them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please take care and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!
You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes